Now let's discuss about water pollution. As we had discussed in air pollution, when any contaminant enter the water, it causes pollution in water. So if any water body contains more than the limit of any contaminant, it is termed as pollution of water or water pollution. So water pollution can happen because of many various factors. There are different types of water pollution also. First is biological, second is inorganic, and third is organic. So let's deal one by one. What is biological water pollution? Now there are various types of algae, fungi, viruses, parasites which are actually thriving in water. And when they are thriving in water, they can cause pollution when they actually react with the substances present inside the water bodies. So these are also one of the reasons or one of the types of water pollution. Second type of water pollution is inorganic type. Now inorganic minerals are huge in number. Inorganic minerals, that means they may contain fine sand, clay, the various types of metamorphic sedimentary rocks which get decayed, they get mixed with the water, and these type of minerals may contain cadmium, lead, silver, then mercury. These are very different types of minerals which can enter the water bodies and they can harm in the form of pollutants. And these are called as inorganic type of water pollution. Organic water pollution. Now organic water pollution means when we use large number of herbicides, pesticides, then fertilizers, they contribute to the water pollution. When excess amount of manure or any type of sewage which enters the water, this type of sewage and manure also can create pollution in water. So these were the three types of water pollution, that is biological, inorganic and organic. What can be the sources of water pollution? From where these pollutants are entering? The sources can be two. First is natural, second is man-made. Obviously, the more responsible is man. But what can be the natural reasons of water pollution? Now due to heavy rainfall or landslide or sandstorm or any other natural thing, natural eruptions, anything happens, they can get mixed with the water. And this is happening naturally. And that is why we call it as a natural sources of water pollution. Then it can be because of earthquake, it can be because of floods, it can be because of the uncontrolled weed growth in the water. So these are the various reasons which can create the natural causes. What are the man-made causes? There are a number of man-made causes. Actually, man is only making this pollution more and more difficult. First is domestic waste. So domestic sewage which comes from our houses. What can be the meaning of domestic sewage? Our kitchens, our bathrooms actually are source from which the domestic sewage is coming out. All the houses will have this drainage system, and these drainage system connect to the common drain, and this common drain is actually connected to some water body. It can be river, it can be sea also. So all this domestic waste may contain soap molecules, may contain the food particles, may contain all the sewage particles, it may contain the toilet etc. So these things are adding to the water and they create large amount of pollution in water. So all this can also have the food and the vegetables waste also can happen. Then various detergents are containing sodium salts, potassium salts, ammonium salts, they enter the water body. So we can say the domestic sewage is one of the major reason for water pollution. Second major reason is industrial waste. So many industries and factories are set up, but they are not following any rules and regulations. What is happening? The product is formed, but then there are large waste products also formed, and that waste has to be disposed of. Either the waste is in the liquid form or either the waste is in the gaseous form. When it is in the gaseous form, it goes through the chimney. That means it is creating the air pollution. But when it is in the liquid form, it is mixed with water and sent to any water body. This creates a large pollution in the water. These industries may contain number of chemicals which they are making use of, and these chemicals enters the water body. They can be gypsum, they can be anything, poisonous substances, they can be mercury based, they can be lead based, so which are very lethal if such type of water is consumed. Then third type of man-made sources can be radioactive waste. Large experimentation is going on using the radioactive elements, and these radioactive elements can cause pollution when it gets mixed with the water bodies. And these radioactive elements are also one of the sources of pollution. Agricultural runoffs, that means this is the fourth type of source from which the pollution of water can take place. In agriculture, we are making use of manure, fertilizer, pesticides, fungicides, which get mixed with the soil. Now, when we are watering the plants, this soil has water, and this type of chemicals which we are adding, they get mixed with the water. And when the water is flowing away, this is called as agricultural runoff, they get finally mixed with some water body. And when they mix with the water body, they are causing pollution. So this was the fourth reason, or the fourth man-made source because of which the water pollution can take place. Fifth is oil spills, which is not so common, but oil is being transported from one country to another country. And it so happens that the ship or the huge vehicles or vessels which are carrying it, they might get cracked, they might get leakage, and this oil spills can happen over the oceans and seas. When oil spills happen, what effect does it have on the flora and fauna living inside? When the oil spills take place, it covers the water body. When it covers the water body, the oxygen supply is stopped, the light supply is stopped, and therefore the animals living under it can die immediately. Even the flora which is growing up inside, that also can die immediately. So this oil spills, though not very common, but are one of the reasons of water pollution. Then another reason is thermal pollution. Now there are so many types of power plants running. Thermal power plant is also there. What is it doing? It is making use of water to produce energy, to generate energy, and that water is circulated back into the water body. But the difference is that water has gained temperature, or it has become hot. When it has become hot, the hot water is entering into the water body, and this hot water is changing the nature or the temperature of the water body, which may affect the flora and fauna of that water body. So this is one of the another reason or the man-made sources from where the water pollution can take place. So we saw 6 types of sources from man-made sources. First was domestic sewage, then industrial sewage, then radioactive waste, then agricultural runoff, then oil spills, and the 6th one was thermal pollution. We have talked about the sources, but what effect does it have on us? Is there any effect of water pollution on us? Obviously, there is a huge effect of water pollution on us. It can have effect on human beings, it can have effect on aquatic life. Now, how does it affect us? How does it affect human beings? Human beings are affected because we consume water. We use water for drinking purpose. We use water for washing purpose. We use water for, our body cell is made up of water. But if I am using such type of water which is having so much pollution, it can affect my whole system. I can get diarrhea, I can get stomach problems, I can get dysentery, I can get polio, jaundice, then various types of typhoid, cholera. All these types of diseases are linked to the water pollution. How does it affect the aquatic life? That means the flora and fauna living inside the water. The pollution is affecting hugely on these animals. These animals are actually dependent, or animals or plants are dependent on the purity of this water. But if this water is not pure, it is contaminated, it is bound to affect their animal tissue, body tissue, their respiratory processes get trapped, many animals die very early. Then in the polluted water, large amount of ammonia gas is found, cyanide is found, which are very lethal for these small animals. Then another major effect is eutrophication. Eutrophication or nutritional enrichment. What is happening? So many type of sewage water is entering, industrial water is entering the water body. Many types of organic and inorganic compounds are provided. Now, when they are provided to the water body, the algae starts growing very fast. Algae actually needs such type of organic and inorganic products, and when they get in such a huge amount, they start growing very fast. When they start growing, they start covering over the water body, and they cover it in such a fast way that the whole surface of water may get covered. Such a situation is called eutrophication, and this is happening because of the nutritional addition or enrichment of water. And this, first, what is the effect on it? It blocks the light, it blocks the water from getting oxygen from the air. And if it blocks all these things, it is bound to affect the flora and fauna under it. So these are the reasons. These are the reasons of, these are the effects of water pollution on human beings, on animals, on plants, water bodies, and due to the enrichment of this nutrition or the eutrophication, large number of aquatic flora and fauna gets affected. So this was about the water pollution. We are going to see the next soil pollution or the land pollution.